Welcome back to another episode of Hard Locks. We have reached the NFL playoffs, so we're going to continue the series, but picking the NFL teams. Joining me every single week down there. You may not recognize him because he doesn't have the cat ear headphones on this week. It's Chickster down there. What's going on? Why
I
why no
I
headphones?
feel bald. Well, okay. So what happened was I had my iPad charging, which I thought it was charging. It was not charging. And so usually to have the headphones, I it's a lot of work. I gotta plug in like a little adapter, and then I plug in my headphones into the adapter. Then I can wear the headphones. But since my iPad's not charged, I have to put the fucking thing in there. So I don't have them today. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. But yeah, no,
Well,
I feel a little naked without them. I ain't gonna lie. Like
the whole thing looks different. I feel like you
I
should almost be wearing them and just like not
without the light
even
on.
without the light. Well, not even without the light, not just for visual effect.
Oh, so I just got to put them on.
Yeah, I feel like you just got to put them on because the
All
whole
right, I
the
got
whole
them right here.
show doesn't even feel right without the cat
I
ears.
don't. What if I can't hear you? I'm like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Huh? Hold on. I gotta. All right, here we go. Yeah, welcome back. Oh yeah, this is like it's like a persona almost. You know what I'm saying?
Like
But
before, you were just Alex Chick, but
yeah,
now you're Chickster.
yeah, like it's a persona.
I get it,
Now I can
and you can hear
feel.
me okay.
It's a little muffly, but
Well,
I'll figure it out.
just put them off your ears a little bit.
I gotta commit to the bit.
All right. Well, if you can't hear me, that's on you.
Huh?
Uh, we're gonna go over the records really quick. Then I want to talk at the top really quick about some of the head coaching firings that we've seen over the last week or so. Alex and I basically had to go completely separate last week for me to have a chance. Uh, Technically, I still do have a chance. I'm
It
gonna need a
worked out
lot of
for you.
help though.
It worked
I'm
out
gonna
for
need a
you.
lot of help. Last week I went 11-5. Alex went 7-9. So I've made up 4 games. I'm still 9 back though. You'll also have to excuse me. At some point over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I messed up the losses total. So we're just gonna go by total wins for the year. I know. I'm not. I'm just the friend of a math teacher. I'm not a math teacher. So you'll have to forgive me. Uh, Alex is currently sitting at 149 wins on the year. I'm currently sitting at 140. So I'm 9 games back. So there is, like I said, I'm gonna need a lot of help in the playoffs to get back, but it's technically possible.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
I
so
don't
we
see it in the
have
cards,
we
but
have we have 6 games this week. Then we have 4 games next week. Then 2 games and 1 game. So you have 13 games.
so it's not happening. I just want to see how close I can get. I want to see if I
I
can get
I feel
within
like it's
five
a
games.
quitter's mentality to say it's not happening.
I will. I mean, I think we agree on almost all of the games this week for a spread.
Dang, you got to pick the
So
opposite.
I can't. I can't. I want to at least win. I want to win as well. I want to have a winning record throughout the rest of these weeks.
I kind of feel I I was slightly being nasty last week without you knowing because I was trying to talk you into some of these games so
I
I
know
can
you were.
create my lead, and then it actually hurt my lead. So I
Some
was
of them
like,
backfired.
yeah, it did. And so I was like, well, fuck, that's what I get. So
That
that's
is
what I
true.
get.
That's what the karma gods reared
The
their ugly
karma
head
gods,
there.
man, they're real. I
They're
promise.
real. They're real, and they run rampant sometimes here around Vendetta. Just as Trey.
Yeah.
I listen because listen, the karma gods got him good with all the shit he was talking last year about the Nuggets.
I am. I don't know basketball, but that's what I'm saying. I guess not. I guess I don't know no basketball. We were
Uh,
idiots for picking the Nuggets.
just to really quickly go over, I just want to touch really quick on all the firings that we've seen over this week. A number of firings. We've seen Mike Vrabel gone. We've seen Ron Rivera gone. Today, a stunner, not necessarily fired, but Pete Carroll's no longer the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. There are 7 total head coaching vacancies right now in the NFL. Just give me your quick thoughts on some of the firings we've seen this week. Plus, what do you think are some of the top head coaching spots that we have right now?
Uh, the Mike Verabel one was so dumb. That was fucking idiotic. Holy shit, that's a really bad decision. That's like Tennessee just trying to find an answer for their problems, and they found the worst possible like solution to that. I mean, that was one thing. So, uh, I don't know. A lot of Tennessee fans are upset about it, as they should be. I feel like the writing's on the wall that he's probably going to go back to or he's going to go to the Patriots. I don't know what I don't know what to make of the Bill Belichick thing yet. I mean, people think he's leaving or he's getting fired. I feel like it should have happened already. I don't know what. So I don't know what the whole issue with that is. Pete Carroll going to the front office or like what was that office role or something?
He's in an advisor role for the organization.
So I wonder what that was about. I don't know. I feel like it's the Seahawks. Like he didn't do they were always competing. They were always going to compete. But I feel like I don't know why he stuck to his guns of either Geno Smith or Drew Lock. That didn't make. I feel like, but maybe as an advisor role, when he was coming, like when he went from the college to the NFL, he actually wasn't that he knew how to draft because he knew all the guys in college. Maybe he'll have more time for that, to where he's part of they helped the Seahawks draft and he knows more guys coming out of college. I don't know. What was another one? Give me another one.
We've got the Chargers. We've got Vegas still as the head coach in free agency.
Hey, the Raiders don't have one. It's Antonio Pierce.
We've got the Commanders as well. The Atlanta Falcons.
It's Antonio Pierce. The Raiders have Antonio Pierce.
I hope.
I don't know.
I think that would be the smart decision, is to give AP the job. I really do.
And this might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I'm all for Antonio Pierce if Patrick Graham's the defensive coordinator. If that guy's not the defensive coordinator, I'm not sure about this because, I'm a big hoorah kind of guy, but hoorah only gets you to so far. Patrick Graham's defensive scheme has kept Vegas in a lot of fucking games and even won them some games. If that guy's not there, I don't know if you want Antonio Pierce being there, but it sounds like he will be, hopefully, but really the offense was selling them. It also depends on what they sell them on the offense. I don't know what the Chargers like. The Chargers, in theory, should be good, and they should be better than what they are. You can blame that as much as on Brandon Staley as you can. It'll be interesting to see who they kind of hire to go from there. Washington's an interesting spot. You almost are guaranteed Drake May in Washington. So they're probably going to be looking for an offensive coach there, I feel like. But I don't know, Washington's got to it's Washington. I wouldn't have traded Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but that's me. That's just me personally. So that's it. That's interesting. Atlanta, you're getting a really young defense that's good and a lot of weapons on offense. Atlanta could be an interesting job. You have the 8th pick of the draft, which you can probably get a Jane Daniels or Michael Penix if you want. Bo Nix maybe. A little high for my taste, but if you want your quarterback, there's your quarterback. Atlanta apparently has been in the rumblings for trading for Justin Fields with, Bijan there already. Drake London's already there. Kyle Pitts is obviously there. So, that could be a really interesting job. And in a weak NFC South right now, that's not a terrible job idea. So, that one should be – I think that was going to go a little under the radar as how good of a situation that one might be. What's another one? I feel like there's one more.
We've covered Washington, Atlanta. We've covered Tennessee. We've covered Vegas. We've covered Seattle.
That's pretty much it, I think.
We're zone professional. There's 7. We've only named 5.
I can't count.
Neither can I. I just proved that a little bit earlier.
I thought you had all of them lined up.
Well, you'd think as the host I would do that, but I'm a bad host. So
okay, AFC East, all of them are still there except AFC North. Everyone's still there.
So without going through every single one, what if you had to rank the top spot? What do you think it would be? Because I have a top 3. I think there's 3 really good destinations, and there's one job that I would want the most.
I feel like Atlanta's in a good spot. I feel like it's got to be probably Atlanta, the Chargers, and then Vegas for me. I think that's the 3.
Vegas just misses out. Vegas is my 4, but that's not a disparaging remark to say it's not a good place to go. I think the Vegas job is kind of intriguing because the defense really stepped up in the second half of the year. I think that'd be a really intriguing job if you can retain Patrick Graham. Vegas finished 9th in total points allowed this year, and I believe they were 16th in total yards. Like average in yards, but they weren't giving up a lot of points. That says something that speaks to Patrick Graham as well. If you
Yeah.
can, you got to try to keep Graham in Vegas. My 3 in order, I think, goes Seattle, Los Angeles, Atlanta. Seattle, because Seattle's got a really good young defense. The offensive line is good. You've got 2 good wide receivers. Tyler Lockett's probably on the back end of his career, but you've got DK, you've got JSN, you've got 2 nice running backs. You really just have to figure out the quarterback position. And Seattle's a really hard place to play. For me, that would be my premier choice of destination. Los Angeles is second because you get to coach Justin Herbert. There's not a lot of opportunities in the NFL year over year where it's, I get a really good young quarterback. Most of it is Atlanta, for example. I know I said Atlanta's 3, but you look on paper in Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback, but Atlanta has other things around them. I think Los Angeles is a hot commodity because you get a talented young quarterback. And for the reasons you said earlier, Atlanta gets my 3 because they have a good young defense and the offense is talented. The 8th overall pick might be a little too late to get one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, but you have the potential to be aggressive with a new head coach. You could trade up to try to get a quarterback.
They can do that. They can obviously trade down. They could get like a Malik Neighbors kind of guy, like a fucking stud. That's why I kind of think I'm making a mock draft right now, and that's part of my reasoning. Okay, spoiler, I have them picking Malik Neighbors, but I feel like they could be a team that goes after Justin Fields as well, and kind of put him around those pieces right here and try their best to contend now in the NFC South. Like I feel like that could be a thing for them, and I'm not sure what the Fields price is. I've talked to you about it. I think it's around a 3rd round pick and some change. You think it's a little bit higher. You think it's about 2nd. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I just don't know for sure what it is. But I feel like not Chicago, but the Atlanta could definitely be in that kind of spot where like, hey, we're kind of not there to draft a quarterback, but we can get more weapons, and then maybe we can get Justin Fields and then do our best to contend in the NFC South. That's not very good at all. So
even if they don't want to go with a guy like Justin Fields, they could approach a guy like Kirk Cousins. I understand he's coming off of the Achilles, but if he makes a quick recovery and he can kind of get back into the slinging kind of mindset, that might be a pretty good spot for Kirk Cousins as Atlanta, or even like a guy like Russell Wilson. You don't have to ask Russell Wilson to throw for 300 yards. He just needs to be a game manager, what he kind of was in Denver, but with improved defense and offense. And I think it
might be Deshaun Watson the way fucking Joe Flacco's playing.
That's a conversation too for another time, to be honest, because like you're exactly right. Like if Joe Flacco keeps balling like this, like what's the guarantee that Deshaun Watson's got the job next year? I know getting off his contract hit would be absolutely brutal, but like
Russell Wilson.
They did it with Russ, exactly. So crazier things have happened. Exactly. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into the playoff picks here. Our first game on the docket. We've got 2 games on Saturday. The rest are on Sunday, or we have 3 on Sunday and 1 on Monday,
which is fucking idiotic. Just do 3 games on Saturday and Sunday. Why the fuck are we putting games on Monday? What was the point of doing that? I'm sorry.
Isn't it interesting? Just to put on my tinfoil hat really quick, and then we'll get into the picks. Isn't it interesting that the team that gets the Monday night slot is Philadelphia, who has a star quarterback with an injury, so he gets an extra day of rest and recover? Isn't that kind of interesting?
You see it that way, but what I see is whoever wins that game gets 1 less day than the other.
That's fair, but it seems weird.
I get it, but I feel like it should be AFC on one day, NFC on the other day, because when they play, Then
See, I think you have to mix them for the reason you just said, because one conference would get an extra day of rest, and then the league's going to complain about it.
but yeah, it's the reason why though is the AFC is going to play AFC teams, the NFC is going to play NFC teams next week, so they get the same amount of time.
I see what you're saying. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yeah.
All right, first game, we've got Cleveland as road favorites going into Houston by 2.5 points. CJ Stroud making his playoff appearance in his playoff debut in his rookie year, going up against Joe Flacco, the seasoned veteran. You know that I'm a big home dog guy. 2.5 going against Joe Flacco with how hot he's been playing right now seems not. That doesn't seem like the move. What are your thoughts on it?
I love me some CJ Stroud. Been banging the table for CJ Stroud QB1, saying he deserves MVP because the Texans would not be in the playoffs if he wasn't the quarterback. The fucking Browns is good. They're fucking good. There's only so much I can bang the table for CJ Stroud and be like, you're a little out of your depth here. Okay. Now our group chat had a conversation about this. I'm rooting for the Texans. I am rooting for them.
Yep.
Picking games. I'm picking the Browns here. You have to pick the Browns here. 3 points is almost disrespectful to the Browns, I feel like. However, congrats to the Texans for making it. Congrats to CJ Stroud.
For winning the division, too. In his
winning
rookie year, win the division.
In his first year. It's like he's QB1.
In what was supposed to be like a down year for Houston because they had a rookie quarterback. They
Texans
went 9-8.
Did really
right?
well. They got Derek Stingley last year. They landed Will Anderson. I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, the trade for Anderson. Yeah,
like they swung for the fences, and this is what happened.
You hit the nail right on the head at the beginning of this. The Derek Stingley pick from last year isn't getting talked about enough because he was riddled with injuries his first year, and even for part of this year too, he was on the shelf. But when he's healthy and he's playing at his top level, Derek Stingley's a CB1. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Last year. I read Trey's draft notes.
Okay. Yeah. He's Derek Stingley's a stud. When he's on the field, when he's healthy, he's on 24/7. I'm also gonna go Cleveland. I don't think this is a disrespectful line. I almost think it's fair, only because I think if this line was bigger for Cleveland, they'd be disrespectful to Houston. We do still have to understand that they are a division winner. And if you're saying Cleveland's favored by 4.5 or 5 points, you're saying Houston is a 5-point home dog in the playoffs, where anything can happen.
It's the AFC South though.
I hear you, but we still have to give a little respect for a division winner. That's all. Okay. But I'm also picking Cleveland.
Okay.
This one seems like a no-brainer. Miami's +4 going into Kansas City, where it is supposed to be either at or below freezing. Statistically, Tua is terrible in the cold. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes, statistically, very good in the cold and in snow games. And I just judging by that look, I know you're taking Miami, and that's great. That means we get to split because I'm hammering Kansas City. This might be one of my free money games this week. Kansas City -4.
This is me choosing with this John right here. It's me choosing with this John.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a big Miami fan this week. I'm the Tyreek Hill revenge game. I'm here for it.
Hey, it's possible.
Go 250 yards right now.
Because Tyreek's used to the cold. He played in it for a while.
I'm with it. But I can understand I was like, I saw that and I was like, yeah, but here, what does this say to me?
Plus, as a division rival, like it kind of kills you a little to pick one of those teams in the playoffs to advance.
Oh yeah.
Like me picking Cleveland, I hated it. Hated picking Cleveland. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But Kansas City, I understand it 100%.
Fuck Kansas City.
Pittsburgh's +10 going across the way a little bit. Yeah.
+10.
You want to talk about a disrespectful line?
God damn.
This line is disrespectful. Pittsburgh's playing Mason Rudolph this week. Buffalo is the hottest team in the NFL right now. I believe winners of 5 straight. Pittsburgh has won 3 straight of their own, with the offense moving pretty well with Mason Rudolph. Buffalo's going to win this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like Buffalo, there's not a doubt in my mind that Buffalo's not going to win this game. But the Steelers are not going to lose by 11 or more. There's not. I also understand that TJ Watt's out, and statistically, I think Pittsburgh is like 1-8 or 1-11 or something like that without TJ Watt throughout the course of his career. The 10 is way too much for a Buffalo team that's not blowing out anybody. They're not blowing out anybody. So I think this game's close.
I can see the push. I'm not gonna pick it. I'm gonna go. I think if it was 9.5, I would pick the Bills. It's that 10. I don't think the Bills.
I mean, the 10 gets you a push.
I know, but
a push is better than a loss.
I'm gonna go Steelers here because I don't think the Bills win by 11, but I definitely think the Bills could win by 10.
Listen, okay, this is a scenario, a real chance that Buffalo wins this game like 33-10, or they win by 3. It could go either way. I don't see where it's like an 11-point game or a 12-point game. It's either going to be close or it's going to be a blowout, and the Buffalo is really going to put their dick on the table.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to talk me into splitting this with you.
I'll split
it with you. That's fine. I'll take Bills. That's fine.
I was shocked that you took Pittsburgh, to be honest. I was shocked. I thought you were going to hammer Buffalo.
I really thought about it, but I was just like, I don't know, man. Like Mike Tomlin plays well in the playoffs, so
hey, listen.
Like I said, it's that 10. It's the 10.
It's a lot of points.
If it was 9.5,
it's a lot of points. I get it.
The hook is always nasty.
Green Bay is plus 7.5, traveling over to Dallas to play the Cowboys.
He just finished Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is the best. I'm sorry, I had my notifications on. It is the best anime ever. I'm not done with it. I'm not going to read any comments, so you can try to spoil it for me. It's not going to happen. I'm almost done with it. Anyway, you talk. I have to answer back to him real quick.
You do that thing. Green Bay's plus 7.5. Green Bay is 9-1 in their last 10 against Dallas. I believe they've also won 5 or 6 games in a row in Dallas. This is Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy we were talking about, who are notorious playoff chokers. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Green Bay can go in not only and cover this game. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Green Bay could win this game in Dallas. I would sprinkle money on Green Bay money line, not a lot. I'd put money on the money line, but I'm definitely taking Green Bay plus 7.5.
This is where sometimes things lack context. How many of those were Aaron Rodgers? Those wins the Packers had. I think that's what we need to look at. As you know, I am not the biggest Jordan Love fan there is.
Neither am I. Neither am
I. Dallas at home has been notoriously good this year. Yes, they are also notorious playoff chokers. I do not believe in this Packers team. I don't believe in Jordan Love. I think well, what's the spread? It scrolled out.
7.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas. Oh, fuck. Am I taking that? I'm taking Dallas. Fuck it. I've already talked so much shit. I can't pick the other way now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you talked so much that you have to take.
Oh, so I'm just a big talker, huh? Just a big yapper.
We know that. That's for sure.
Just a big yapper.
Arguably my favorite storyline coming out of this weekend is Matt Stafford going back to Detroit in a playoff game. It's gonna be all warm and fuzzy. He's gonna get a great reception during the introductions during pregame. I just know it. I have said multiple times leading up to the playoffs that the Rams are not a team that I would want to face in the playoffs. This offense can pop. The defense, very young, has shown flashes of playing very good football. Shown flashes. Cannot stress that enough. Flashes of very good football. With that being said, I don't think these are the same Lions that we've had from years past. I think this Lions team has matured a lot this year, has grown up a lot this year, and without spoiling anything, I think Detroit could make a run. I really do. And I've said it a couple of times this year as well, but like looking at the playoff format and how the schedule's lined up for them, there's a shot. There's a real shot. So I'm taking Detroit here, especially because it's only 3. I think they could easily win this game by 4 or more.
The way you were talking, I thought you were gonna pick the Rams, and I was gonna talk so much shit.
Could you imagine?
But I'm also picking Lions.
Me wearing Lions blue.
Oh, did you do that on purpose? Is that
I didn't. Well, because I had this long sleeve down last night because we were supposed to record last night.
Listen.
And I was cold last night, so I knew when we record, I'm not going to want to wear a tank top.
I wasn't feeling well, and I was tired. I passed out on my couch. I was like,
fair. This might be. I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not. I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not. I have 0 doubts in this game. None.
Might be a little bit of a hot take.
Philadelphia is reeling at the worst time possible. They're banged up. They backed into the playoffs, and they're gonna back right out in the wild card. Taking Tampa spread, taking Tampa money line.
I'm also taking Tampa, but I'm not sure if I would say it's no doubts. I think if the Eagles were playing literally anybody else, then the Bucks, I think I'm with you. But I'm not gonna sit here and say this Bucks team is, or the Packers. I don't know if I would take the Packers over the Eagles.
The reason I'm so confident about Green Bay is because we've seen this song and dance before from Dallas, and we know how it ends up.
Yeah, but that's Aaron Rodgers, though. I feel like Aaron Rodgers. I feel like, at least when you were talking about the wins, but like how many times Green Bay is beat.
And no, it's entirely fair because that's a very valid point. Very valid. So I hear you.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be. I feel like Dallas might come off a little flat, and hopefully they finish the game. Really, I just can't wait for DJ to blame the loss on what's his name, Joe Barry. Yeah, and then Jordan Love also, 50% completion.
Imagine if Jordan Love throws like 58% with like 2 or 3 interceptions. Like, I wonder who gets the blame. Is it Love or is it Joe Barry?
It would be Joe Barry. It would absolutely
be. It'd have to be. Packers fans are really irrational about Jordan Love right now.
Well, 49ers are really irrational about Brock Purdy too, but
we're just gonna keep that pushing. Going over our picks for this
better
week.
Than Trevor Lawrence, by the way.
I can't. I got to keep pushing because I'm gonna go into a rant. I can't do it. Going over the picks. Going over the picks this week. We've agreed on 3, so I can make up 3 games in ground. I can go from 9 behind to 6 behind.
I'm rooting for you.
We've both picked Cleveland -2.5. Alex has Kansas City. No, Alex has Miami. I've got Kansas City, and that is 4.5. That has
the Jefferson Legals, the Jackson Laws.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. Alex has Buffalo. I've got Green Bay. Alex has Dallas. We're both taking Detroit -3. We're both taking Tampa +3. And I would take Tampa money line. I would also consider putting a 5, maybe a 10 on Green Bay money line as well. Just a little sprinkle, just a little taste, a little soupçon.
Salt Bay, you know what I'm saying?
Something like that. Just my little pennies. I wouldn't throw like big dollar bills or nothing. Just like those are like nickels or dimes.
The kick of destiny.
All right, Alex, you got any more thoughts for the fans before we get out of here?
I fucking love playoff football. Playoff football is one of the best things. Like, yes, we have to wait all week for it, but it almost makes it like I love the NBA playoffs because I love basketball. But there's something about NFL playoffs that you have to like wait the entire week. The anticipation, your team doesn't even have to be playing, and it's just like, but the magnitude of the games. Usually it's the better teams in the league playing. It's just awesome. I fucking love playoff football.
You know who has a great playoff atmosphere and one of my favorite playoff, like, of the games, the playoff games to watch? You know what sport has it? Hockey.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
I love watching the Stanley Cup playoffs or like the Stanley Cup finals. Oh my God. There's nothing like it. Playoff hockey is electric.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with it. I tried. I can't do it.
I'm in the
I wish I
NHL chat,
could.
and they talk about these fuckers, and I'm like, who the fuck are we talking about?
I just my brain cannot keep up with
You
hockey.
know,
It
you
just
know
can't.
what? One of my favorite things is always March Madness.
That is
I
true.
always fucking love
That is
March
true.
Madness. I'm that fucking nut job that makes 50 fucking brackets just
You
because
do
I
make a ton of
fucking
brackets.
can. I
That is true.
fucking love it. And you got me into that one year. You're like, hey, we're doing March Madness. I'm like, oh yeah, I like basketball. And I
then
did it. And then
hooked ya.
next thing I knew, I was like, this is fun. And I beat him that year.
And then 1 year, I think it might have been like the second year, Alex asked me in like early January, he goes, "Are we doing March Madness again this year?" And I'm like, "I would assume so." He goes, "Good, because I've been paying attention." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I shit you not, this fucker filled out like 20 brackets in his second year. And he goes, "All right, I big brain this. Here's why this team's gonna win." And then he like all the and I'm like, "Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got him
I'm
hooked.
hooked.
I'm so proud.
I
I'm so
wish
proud."
I wish I was as much of a degenerate as like the Carl Heisers, the Alex Cervantes, those
Those
fuckers,
guys are
man.
fiends.
Yeah, because college basketball is such a monster on its own. Like if you don't follow strictly college basketball, you'll get lost.
I do want to give, before we get out of here, we'll wrap up after this. I do want to give those two guys big shout outs. I hope Alex Cervantes is doing well. He's taken a brief hiatus from the website to focus on school and things like that. I'm sending much love to him. Also, shout out Carl Heiser. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. I believe it's K Heiser CBB, I believe. He's been going to a ton of games with media credentials. Like he's getting out, he's getting the experience, he's attending the press conferences. I think he even posted a clip on his Twitter of like he's been asking the players at post game press conferences like questions and stuff like that. Super proud of that dude.
That guy knows fucking college
he's
basketball.
going to be a force in college basketball one day. I like it's no doubt in my mind. He's going to be a force
Anytime
one
that
day.
dude posts anything about college basketball,
It's must read.
Twitter, you like follow that dude like
because you know you're getting the best information. So
that
shout
dude
out Alex
knows college
Cervantes.
basketball.
Shout out Carl Heiser. All right. For Chickster down there at the bottom, who finished the show with the cat ears, shout out to him. My name's Garrett Burrows. Thanks for watching another episode of Hard Locks. This is playoffs, wildcard, Super Wildcard weekend. If you have not already, please be sure to subscribe to the Vendetta Sports Media YouTube channel. Like the video. If you like the video, share it with a friend. We're going to see you next time.